Welcome to Cosmic Faith, where ancient wisdom anticipates modern discovery. Before we dive into today's eye-opening exploration of biblical scientific foreknowledge, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly revelations. If you find value in today's journey, please hit that like button. It really helps our community grow, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these biblical predictions amazes you the most? Now let's explore the remarkable scientific knowledge hidden in Scripture thousands of years before modern discovery. From the Earth's free float in space to the expanding universe, from ocean currents to the water cycle, the Bible described scientific phenomena with stunning accuracy thousands of years before their scientific discovery. The prophetic scientific knowledge that defies explanation. The scientific challenge to Scripture. For centuries, skeptics have portrayed the Bible as a collection of primitive myths, incompatible with modern science. From Galileo's conflict with the Church to the ongoing debates over creation and evolution, many have assumed that Scripture and science are fundamentally opposed. But what if the opposite is true? What if the Bible contains scientific insights so advanced that they couldn't have been known by its human authors? Insights only confirmed by modern science thousands of years later? Today, we'll explore 15 remarkable instances where the Bible described scientific realities millennia before their scientific discovery. This foreknowledge presents a profound challenge to skeptics and suggests divine inspiration behind Scripture's ancient wisdom. For most of scientific history, the prevailing view was that the universe was eternal. It had always existed. This steady-state theory dominated scientific thought until the 20th century. Yet Genesis 1:1 boldly declared, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." This assertion that the universe had a definite beginning point contradicted scientific consensus for thousands of years. In 1929, astronomer Edwin Hubble discovered that galaxies are moving away from each other, suggesting the universe is expanding. Following this backward in time led to the Big Bang Theory, the realization that our universe had a beginning approximately 13.8 billion years ago. This scientific discovery, which revolutionized cosmology, confirmed what Genesis had stated all along: the universe is not eternal but had a definite beginning. Not only did the Bible claim the universe had a beginning, but it also described its subsequent expansion. Isaiah 40:22 states that God stretches out the heavens like a canopy and spreads them out like a tent to live in. This concept of an expanding universe appears repeatedly in Scripture. Job 9:8 describes God as stretching out the heavens. Psalm 104:2 says God stretches out the heavens like a tent. Similar descriptions appear in Isaiah 42:5, 44:24, 45:12, 51:13, Jeremiah 10:12, 51:15, and Zechariah 12:1. The Bible's consistent description of cosmic expansion wasn't confirmed scientifically until Hubble's discoveries in 1929. Even more remarkably, in 1998, astronomers discovered that this expansion is accelerating due to a mysterious force now called dark energy, confirming the active, ongoing nature of cosmic expansion exactly as Scripture described. For thousands of years, cultures worldwide believed the Earth rested on some kind of support structure. The Greeks thought it was on the shoulders of Atlas. Hindu mythology described the Earth as resting on the backs of elephants, which stood on a giant turtle. Chinese mythology portrayed it as resting on pillars. Yet Job 26:7, written around 2000 BC, states, "He spreads out the northern skies over empty space. He suspends the earth over nothing." This accurate description of Earth's free float in space wasn't confirmed scientifically until the age of space exploration in the 20th century. How did the author of Job know this thousands of years before modern astronomy? Many assume ancient cultures universally believed in a flat Earth. While this was common, the Bible suggests otherwise. Isaiah 40:22 states, "He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth." The Hebrew word for circle, chug, can also be translated as sphere, suggesting a three-dimensional understanding. Proverbs 8:27 describes how God inscribed a circle on the face of the deep, using similar terminology. Luke 17:34-36 describes the second coming occurring while some are asleep at night, and others are working in the daytime. A clear reference to a spherical Earth with day and night occurring simultaneously in different locations. While the Greeks later developed the concept of a spherical Earth around the 6th century BC, these biblical insights predated Greek science and contradicted most ancient cosmologies. The water cycle, evaporation, cloud formation, precipitation, and runoff, wasn't fully understood scientifically until the 17th century, when Pierre Perrault and Edmund Halley conducted groundbreaking studies. Yet Ecclesiastes 1:7, written around 935 BC, clearly describes this cycle. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. Job 36:27-28 provides even more detail. He draws up the drops of water, which distill as rain to the streams. The clouds pour down their moisture, and abundant showers fall on mankind. Amos 9:6 adds, He calls for the waters of the sea, and pours them out on the face of the earth. These passages accurately describe evaporation, cloud formation, and precipitation, thousands of years before the scientific understanding of the hydrologic cycle. In 1855, Matthew Fontaine Maury, known as the Pathfinder of the Seas, published the first textbook on modern oceanography. His work was inspired by Psalm 8:8, which refers to the paths of the seas. Maury's discovery of ocean currents revolutionized marine navigation. Upon receiving an award for his work, he stated, "I have been blamed by men of science, both in this country and in England, for quoting the Bible in confirmation of the doctrines of physical geography. The Bible, they say, was not written for scientific purposes, and is therefore of no authority in matters of science. I beg pardon. The Bible is authority for everything it touches." The Bible's reference to paths in the seas accurately described ocean currents thousands of years before their scientific discovery. Leviticus 17:11 states, "For the life of a creature is in the blood." This declaration seems obvious today, but for most of human history, blood was not recognized as vital for life. Ancient Greek medicine, which dominated Western thought until the 19th century, taught that the body contained 4 humors: blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile, with no special importance assigned to blood. The critical life-sustaining role of blood wasn't scientifically understood until 1616, when William Harvey discovered blood circulation. The incredible complexity of blood, with its ability to carry oxygen and nutrients, fight infection, seal wounds, and regulate temperature, has only been fully appreciated in modern times. The Bible's emphasis on blood's life-sustaining role anticipated scientific discovery by over 3,000 years. Genesis 15:5 records God telling Abraham, "Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them." Jeremiah 33:22 states, "The host of heaven cannot be numbered." These statements contradicted ancient astronomy. Star catalogs from various ancient civilizations typically listed around 1,000 to 3,000 stars, which was indeed the number visible to the naked eye. Not until Galileo pointed his telescope at the sky in 1610 did humans discover that the stars are innumerable. Modern astronomy estimates there are over 100 billion stars in our galaxy alone, and over 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe. The Bible's claim about the innumerable stars contradicted all available scientific evidence at the time it was written, yet has been proven remarkably accurate. Job 38:24 asks, "What is the way to the place where the light is divided?" This question, posed thousands of years ago, anticipates the scientific discovery that light can indeed be divided or separated into its component parts. In 1666, Isaac Newton discovered that white light could be divided into a spectrum of colors using a prism. Later discoveries revealed that light can be divided into various wavelengths across the electromagnetic spectrum, from radio waves to gamma rays. The concept that light could be divided was not scientifically understood until thousands of years after Job was written. Job 28:25 states that God established the force, weight of the wind, and weighed out the waters by measure. The idea that air has weight was not scientifically demonstrated until 1640, when Evangelista Torricelli invented the barometer and proved atmospheric pressure. Before this discovery, air was thought to be weightless. The Bible's reference to the weight of wind, air in motion, anticipated this scientific discovery by thousands of years. Genesis 1:20 describes life originating in water, and God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures." Modern evolutionary biology confirms that life on Earth indeed began in water. The earliest fossils are of aquatic microorganisms, and all complex life forms evolved from marine ancestors. The Bible's placement of aquatic life before land animals in the creation sequence matches the scientific understanding of evolutionary history. Job 28.5 contains a remarkable insight about Earth's structure. The Earth, from which food comes, is transformed below, as by fire. This description of Earth's interior being transformed by fire accurately portrays the molten nature of Earth's mantle and core. The fact that the solid crust where we grow food rests on a molten interior wasn't scientifically confirmed until modern seismology developed in the 20th century. Leviticus 13-15 outlines detailed procedures for dealing with infectious diseases, including isolation of the infected, washing with running water, and even burning contaminated garments. These quarantine principles weren't scientifically established until the 19th century, when Louis Pasteur and others developed the germ theory of disease. The effectiveness of these biblical health regulations was demonstrated during the Black Death pandemic in the 14th century, when Jewish communities following these practices experienced significantly lower mortality rates. The Mosaic Law contained numerous dietary and sanitation regulations that protected the Israelites from disease, including washing hands and clothes after handling dead bodies, Numbers 19:11-22. Proper waste disposal outside the camp, Deuteronomy 23:12-13. Avoiding consumption of animals that died naturally, Deuteronomy 14:21. Distinguishing between clean and unclean animals, Leviticus 11. Modern science has confirmed the health benefits of these practices. For example, many of the unclean animals prohibited in the Israelite diet are now known to be more likely to transmit diseases to humans. These health regulations predated modern medical understanding by thousands of years, yet provided effective protection against disease. The second law of thermodynamics, the principle that the universe is constantly moving toward increased entropy, disorder, wasn't formulated scientifically until the 19th century, yet this concept appears in Scripture. Isaiah 51:6 states, "The heavens will vanish like smoke, the earth will wear out like a garment." Psalm 102:25-26 says, "In the beginning you laid the foundations of the earth, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you remain. They will all wear out like a garment." These passages accurately describe the universe's tendency toward entropy and disorder, anticipating one of the fundamental laws of physics, thousands of years before its scientific formulation. The probability of accurately anticipating so many scientific facts thousands of years before their discovery defies coincidence. If the biblical authors were simply guessing or recording the scientific understanding of their time, we would expect their statements to be mostly wrong, not consistently right. As astronomer Hugh Ross calculates, the odds against these scientific insights being correct by chance are astronomical. The only reasonable explanation is that the biblical authors had access to knowledge beyond their time, knowledge that could only come from the creator of the universe himself. The Bible's remarkable scientific foreknowledge presents a profound challenge to skepticism. From cosmology to biology, from physics to medicine, Scripture repeatedly demonstrates knowledge that transcended the scientific understanding of its time. This foreknowledge doesn't mean the Bible is a science textbook, it's not. But it does suggest that the author behind Scripture possessed knowledge far beyond what was humanly possible when it was written. As we continue to advance scientifically, we may discover even more instances where ancient Scripture anticipated modern discovery, reminding us that true science and true faith ultimately point to the same Creator. If you found this exploration of biblical scientific foreknowledge enlightening, please hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs this perspective, and subscribe for more revelations where ancient wisdom anticipates modern discovery. Until next time, remember that the more we learn about our universe, the more we see the fingerprints of its designer.